Hey, hi, how are you? Now, you might be wondering why I have my phone on me, and that's because I'm looking at Jay from Captured in Words. I'm looking at his no disclaimers book tag. I didn't get this shared to me, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Question number 1. Which tropes annoy you the most in books? I don't know about the most, but one that definitely annoys me is bickering siblings. Like, I don't mind if siblings are enemies, right? That creates good conflict. But when you've got a sibling that's constantly going back and forth between, are they loyal to their brother or are they not? Oh my goodness, it just creates annoying conflict that just feels completely, it feels annoying. Right, so I'm watching Vikings at the moment, and no spoilers here, but in Vikings there is the brother of one of the main characters, but he goes back and forth all the time in, I love my brother, or maybe I don't, and it's just annoying. It's just not a trope I love. Question 2. Which writers or writer do you feel is the most overrated? Now, I'm going to say my favourite author, which is Brandon Sanderson. Now, Captured in Words said this as well, but he didn't really elaborate, so I'll just quickly go over it. What I think about him, I think Brando Sando's success, while he writes just brilliant books. They are some of my favourite books, and the Sanderlanches at the end of all these books here are wonderful. I don't think that he is the god that we all pretend he is, right? And I think a lot of his success comes from the fact that he is a workaholic. He's just everywhere. He's on the Writing Excuses podcast. He has his own writing lectures, so even if you're not a reader but you're an author, you'll know about him and you'll use his resources. He's just released so many books that he's everywhere, and that prevalence, combined with the fact that his books are great quality, means that he just seems to have a massive presence. And that doesn't mean that he's bad, but I think other authors have been forgotten about in Brando Sando's presence. Now, I don't think Brando Sando does this on purpose at all. He's just really good, and he does a lot of stuff, and people are constantly talking about him. Plus, not all of his books are god tier, in my opinion. There are some that really are, and others that aren't. So there is a mix in quality there. My favourite author, for sure, with some of my favourite books. But is he a bit overrated? Yeah, he is. The third question here, what are your least favourite books you've read since joining BookTube? Probably this one, The Last Wish. Now, I did really enjoy the Netflix show, and I do, of The Witcher, and I do really like The Witcher, and the book is okay. It just didn't really speak to me, so to speak. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is the voice of Andrzej Sapkowski translated into English, because it's originally in Polish, I felt was quite clunky to read. And just the absolute prevalence of dialogue, like there isn't much description. It's just dialogue. Everything's through just tons and tons of dialogue. Meant that I found it hard to really immerse myself in the world and the story, even though the characters were great. I think this is just a stylistic choice, and if I continue to read the books, which I am planning to do, I will enjoy them more. Okay, so the next question is, what is a terrible ending in an otherwise great book, or something along those lines? And technically the question says an ending that ruined a book for you. And I haven't read any endings, at least in recent memory, that have ruined whole books for me. But an ending that I felt was a big letdown was Warbreaker's ending. I felt like the climax in Warbreaker was just getting started, and then the book ended, and the big battle happened off-screen. The big battle happened off-screen. I still like this book, it's still a great book, but that was just... It felt weird. It felt weird to have a Sanderson book where the Sanderlanche gets going and then, your book's done. It's a standalone, so there's no more. It's like, what? What happened there? What? It just felt very anticlimactic. It really did. I don't know. Number 5. Which fictional character do you wish was not killed off? Now, there is a character in the Ranger's Apprentice series by John Flanagan, which is a middle grade series that I read when I was younger, and it's really good. And there is a particular character in it that gets killed in between books, about book 11 and 12. There is good meaning to their death, right? It's not just out of the blue, they die and then there's no repercussions. Their death does affect the story in a positive way in terms of the next book afterwards, The Royal Ranger. Much like the previous one, it felt anticlimactic, and I wish they could have done a bit more before they died, even though I do understand why it was important for the next few stories. What are some of your bookish pet peeves? Well, I've written this down here. Well, one of them is one that I've already showed you, and that's this. Movie/TV covers for books. I don't like them. It's got one of those stickers that you can't actually get off. Plus, it's a movie cover, so you couldn't get much worse. What was I thinking in buying this? It's awful. Just repulsive. What are some books you wish had more recognition? The Ranger's Apprentice series, which I just mentioned. Like, if you're a parent and you want your kids to read something that's not like Harry Potter, Ranger's Apprentice. And the other one is, as a Zelda fan, I gotta give Twilight Princess its due. Now, Twilight Princess is, of course, a Zelda game, and this is a manga, Japanese comics, written for it. And the story is actually incredibly in-depth and well thought out with deep characters, good characters, and a decent story. As a Zelda fan, this is one more step towards a full-on Zelda novel, and it's pretty great. And the final thing is, in your opinion, should books be banned? No. Books should not be banned. I understand a parent or not wanting their kids to read a particular book for various reasons, cultural or religious or blah 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 blah, or you're just too young. I don't think we should be banning books large scale. Now, the reason for that is that I think that, one, that sets a dangerous precedent. Once you start banning free thought and books and ideas, you can go down a very dangerous path there. And the second reason is I think it's good to have conflicting opinions. And even if you don't agree with those opinions, I think it's actually really good to be able to read that or see it, especially for kids, and then to be able to talk to people they trust about the ideas there and why they don't personally believe in that, or that that is a dangerous, harmful idea. So I don't think we should be banning books because of the precedent it sets, and also because I think that having access to all those ideas allows us to explore, discuss, and grow. Alright, that has been it for this book tag discussion video. As I said, on this platform I only have ZeldaTube friends, not BookTube friends. But hey, if you are a book reviewer or a BookTuber, whatever, and you're watching this, feel free absolutely to do your own list. That would be terrific. With that being said, my name is Jasper. I hope you all have a terrific day, and I will see you all later. Oh, and subscribe and do that as well. Bye-bye.